The K-pop industry is often seen as a glossy dream machine where idols sparkle on stage and fans watch with admiration. Behind the glamour, however, lies a web of strict contracts, high expectations, and relentless control. While fans see the performance, companies often see profit, which can lead to tension when idols start asserting their independence. In the dynamic world of K-pop, entertainment agencies invest substantial resources, both time and money, into cultivating idol groups. This investment encompasses rigorous training programs, image development, and strategic marketing campaigns aimed at propelling these artists to stardom. Given the magnitude of these commitments, agencies often implement stringent contractual agreements to safeguard their investments. When idols seek to alter or terminate these contracts prematurely, it can lead to significant legal confrontations. K-pop contracts are notoriously long and tightly binding. Some early agreements stretched up to 13 years, earning the nickname slave contracts among critics and fans alike. While reforms have shortened maximum contract durations in South Korea to 7 years thanks to regulatory efforts by the Fair Trade Commission, the core power dynamic often remains the same. Agencies retain immense authority over an idol's schedule, finances, public image, and even personal relationships. These contracts usually include penalty clauses that allow companies to demand hefty compensation if an idol walks away mid-contract, and this is precisely where lawsuits come into play. The stakes are high for agencies. Creating an idol group isn't just about forming a band, it's about crafting a brand that can sell music, merchandise, endorsements, and even drama appearances. Companies often spend 3 to 5 years training a group they become. Unlike Western celebrity lawsuits, which often play out quietly in courtrooms, K-pop legal conflicts unfold in front of millions of passionate fans. Social media erupts, hashtags trend, and global fanbases take sides. Agencies usually release official statements defending their actions as protective and legal. Idols, meanwhile, might publish handwritten letters explaining their perspective or reveal details that suggest emotional burnout, lack of autonomy, or toxic work environments. These aren't just business disputes, they're deeply human conflicts amplified by fame. And that's the heart of the issue: control. When companies sue idols, it's not just about money, it's about sending a message to other trainees and performers. It's a warning: if you try to leave, there will be consequences. From the agency's perspective, it's a form of damage control and brand protection. But from the idol's side, it's often a last resort, a way to reclaim some autonomy after years of being micromanaged. These lawsuits expose the unspoken imbalance in K-pop, where young talents are trained to be perfect on stage, yet rarely given the same control behind the scenes. That said, things are slowly changing. Some agencies now offer better terms, and a few idols have successfully negotiated contract renewals that grant them more say in their careers. Public scrutiny and media coverage have pressured companies to be more transparent. And as more idols speak up, either through lawsuits, interviews, or quiet exits, the industry's old norms are beginning to crack. Still, until contracts become more balanced and artist-focused, lawsuits will likely remain one of the only ways idols can break free. Entertainment companies argue that their legal actions are necessary to protect the substantial investments made in developing an idol's career. These investments include years of training, promotional activities, and brand building, all aimed at establishing a profitable and recognizable act. When an idol decides to depart or engage in unauthorized activities, agencies contend that such actions not only jeopardize financial returns but also potentially harm the company's reputation and the group's cohesion. Entertainment companies in the K-pop industry often invest millions in grooming idols, covering everything from vocal and or sign with another label. These companies frequently respond with lawsuits. Take 2014 for example. Chris Wu and Luhan of EXO both filed to terminate their contracts with SM, citing unfair treatment and lack of freedom. SM responded by suing them for damages, claiming their independent activities in China were illegal and harmful to the company. Similarly, in 2020, Kristen's Kilkeeng terminated her contract with Pledis and pursued a solo career in China, prompting the agency to sue her for breach. These lawsuits aren't just about money, they're about control. Companies argue they are protecting years of effort and brand value, but idols often argue that they're escaping mental stress, unfair profit distribution, and even verbal or emotional abuse. These lawsuits aren't just about money, they're about control. Companies argue they are protecting years of effort and brand value, but idols often argue that they're escaping mental stress, unfair profit distribution, and even verbal or emotional abuse. These cases show how fragile the idol-agency relationship can be. Beneath the glitz of stage lights is a business machine that doesn't always prioritize the artist's well-being. As fans become more informed and vocal, many are pushing for fairer contracts and better protections for idols. But until significant legal and structural reforms are made, lawsuits will likely remain a powerful tool that companies use to maintain control and protect their stake in the ever-profitable K-pop machine. While companies claim to protect their investment, idols often tell a very different story, one marked by emotional strain, physical exhaustion, and financial imbalance. For many artists, lawsuits aren't acts of rebellion, but desperate attempts to escape systems that have controlled nearly every aspect of their lives. Many idols cite overwork, manipulation, and vague financial reporting as the main reasons for seeking contract termination. A key example is TVXQ, one of K-pop's most iconic groups. In 2009, three members Jae-jong, Yoo-jin, and Junsu filed a lawsuit against SM Entertainment to void their 13-year contracts. They claimed the agreements were excessively long and one-sided, allowing SM to pocket most of the profits while forcing them to maintain grueling schedules with minimal rest. The case exposed not only their own conditions but raised questions about labor ethics across the industry. The Seoul Central District Court later ruled that parts of SM's contracts were indeed unfair, triggering public debate and pressure for reform. But even after winning the case, the trio paid a heavy price. They lost the right to perform under the name TVXQ, were blacklisted from major Korean broadcasters for years, revealing that despite generating millions in revenue since debut, they had received less than $20,000 each over 3 years. That's less than minimum wage, shocking for a group with chart-topping albums and international tours. Their statement emphasized how they had been pushed to physical and mental extremes with no clarity on finances, no voice in decision-making, and no guarantee of rest or support. The group eventually reached a settlement and left the company, but the damage had already been done. BP never fully recovered its momentum. For some idols, it's not just about money, but survival. In 2022, Luna's Chuu, one of the group's most recognizable members, took legal action against BlackBerry Creative. She claimed unfair profit distribution and mistreatment, including being excluded from schedules without warning, and facing retaliatory behavior from management. BlackBerry initially denied her claims, but by 2023, the court ruled in Chuu's favor and declared her contract void. The ruling acknowledged not just contractual unfairness, but an unhealthy workplace environment. Fans rallied behind her, especially as more Luna members followed with their own lawsuits, suggesting a pattern of systemic issues within the agency. Even groups from powerful labels aren't immune. GOT7, under JYP Entertainment, shocked fans in 2021 when all 7 members chose not to renew their contracts. Though no lawsuits were filed, interviews later revealed that the members wanted more creative freedom and felt constrained under the company's structure. This softer exit still underscored the quiet rebellion many idols feel, the desire to take ownership of their careers after years of being handled like products. Likewise, Girlfriend's abrupt disbandment in 2021, despite steady success, sparked rumors of internal dissatisfaction, though no legal claims surfaced. In extreme cases, legal battles bring to light emotional and psychological scars. In 2018, TZ's Kyungha was sentenced for sexual assault, and in the same year, trainee Han Seo-hee, though controversial herself, revealed stories about abusive training practices and blacklisting. These disclosures show the emotional manipulation idols sometimes endure, where fear of being replaced, punished, or erased from the industry looms constantly. Most idols enter the industry as teenagers, often underage, with little legal knowledge or guidance. Signing long contracts under pressure, without independent legal advice, puts them at a severe disadvantage. Adding to the complexity is the way agencies often weaponize public opinion. When an idol tries to leave, the company might release statements accusing them of betrayal, causing. These stories remind us that behind the glamour of the stage are real human beings, often young, passionate, and under immense pressure, who sometimes must risk everything to regain their freedom. When K-pop companies sue their idols, it exposes the uncomfortable reality beneath the industry's shine. These cases aren't just legal, they're emotional, cultural, and public. As more idols push back, fans and lawmakers are beginning to question the fairness of it all.